Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I want to be talking about crude oil, alright, or just oil, or ticker symbol WTI. Okay, so this has been a very volatile trading pair, and I was doing my research on it because I feel like there's a lot of good momentum um, in crude oil, and I feel like if we know what we're doing or we understand the pair, we can take advantage of that, right? And so today it was the first day I actually took a look at it, and I've just been hearing it for a couple of months. And today I decided to take a look at it, do some chart analysis, and this is what I have found to be the best setup for it, right? So sells basically supply zone plus engulfing candle. That means you enter the trade, and buys demand zone and engulfing candle, and you enter the trade. So let me break it down. The most important point for this is to understand exactly where you're going. So I always start from the higher time frames. So this is the weekly chart. I'll start with a clean chart like this, and then I'll do my analysis from the lower time frames. Just make sure I get those levels correct. So daily, drop down to the daily, see what's going on. See, we're holding up a level of support. So that's already something I have to keep in mind for the next time frames and for the next analysis. So daily, I drop down to the 4-hour, and I start to see things more clear. And this is when I go and I start doing my markups. Okay, so this is already done. This is when I was doing my screen recording. So on TradingView, you can just click here for screen recording. I went back all the way until first of this year, and this is what I found to be working best. All right, so here's what I said about buys and sells on supply and demand zones. This right here, you can see it's a level of supply resistance level, right? There's rejection here, here. So what I want to see here is basically every time that price touches this area, I'm looking for a sell, and every time price touches a support area or a demand area right here, I look for a buy. All right, so very quick, I'll go over what I have marked up. Okay, so it is this is the exact same thing that I was talking about. This area on the left is a resistance or a supply. Price comes here, touches this area. You have confirmation, which is this basically a doji candle. You have a wick above, which means the seller pressure starting to come into the market. And then target for this will always be some kind of low. So if I'm entering sells right here, I look for the previous low, which was right here, and then look for the one below that. So basically take profit would have been right here, and then the full target would have been these lows right here of support. And then once you come to the support, you start seeing the same thing. I need confirmations to enter this trade, and basically you have one wick coming here, boom, rejecting. So I already know that this is a buy area. Boom, another rejection right here, and then we start to see basically some support level being maintained, being held right here. So again, same thing, from looking for buys at support, my target, but this is a clean range right here. As you can see, boom, fell directly from the 59 all the way down to 56. So my next target would have been right here on the 59 again. Boom, is as easy as that. All right, so it's already easier for me that I already have it marked up, but I'll give you guys examples. This right here is another perfect trade. I have the level of resistance. Price broke above, retested. This is the first retest. It's basically perfect because it turns the resistance onto a support. We made a new high right here. As you can see, the high is written over here, new highs. So this becomes I'm just looking for a correction, a retracement, and then this becomes another great buy, which is the same level of support that was created and previous level of resistance. Alright, so on and so forth. I'll just stick with it. So you guys see that these levels are so easily marked up and so easily respected. Right, a lot of support being maintained right here. You have another level that was previous resistance right here. Boom, rejected, broke above, came down again, broke above one more time. So it made a higher high, higher low, higher high right here, higher low from these lows, and then boom, another high. So what I'm expecting after is another high low created right here on this previous level of support. Right here you see some rejections, and then you see another rejection from a resistance. Maintain that level, boom, made new highs. So it's pretty easy. Right here again is another one. If I make this one more clear, you have rejection from here, create a level of resistance, another rejection from here, same level as this on the left. We broke above, came down, respected, created a level of support, and then started to make another move to the upside. So what I'm thinking of it is pretty easy pair to trade, but there's a lot of patience when you're trading it. And the thing with this is right now there's a lot of news behind it, and a lot of news behind it means more volatility, which means harder to trade. All right, so back in January was, I think, easier, and now you guys are gonna see it's pretty hard. Basically became a hardcore pair. Look at this, basically huge move all the way to 75. It kept going 78. So this is just harder for you to make any decision because there's so much volatility. Right now, boom, made new highs at 119. So this whole move right here, all the road all the way down from the high 60s to basically 119. So it's pretty overextended move, and then correction happened after. And I feel like the same thing happened to gold already multiple times over the past 2 years. Right here is the easiest setup that I'm looking for, which is price just holding up a level of support, and then I see a level of resistance on the left, which means I can trade between these levels. I can have a buy trade over here if we retest with a confirmation, and I know that my target is already right here marked up at $100 because of a level of resistance on the left. Same thing for sells. I know that I have a sell marked up because my level of support is already here marked up. So right here, this is what I'm talking about. We have one level of resistance that I have marked up on the left. Boom, we respected right here, made like a liquidity sweep right here, came down, another level of support created, same right here, and then now one more time a resistance being respected. And then of course, once you have a resistance respected, the next target is all the way down to support at around 94, 93, 94 right here. We broke below it, and where do we look at it? We look at the previous level on the left. That's the resistance level right here that we maintained, created a level of support on 88, 89. And then after this level of support created, we move higher to 93, 94, which was a previous level of support, now formed a level of resistance. So I know that this level of resistance created, if I'm looking for a sell, I already know that my target is way down there. So to me, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. And this is where we were at today. And I did not take a trade. I told that on the last video, I'm waiting for April. I'm already done with this month. So this week, I believe, is the last week, or we have a couple more days until April. So this week, I'm not trading. I'm just analyzing, see how the markets are going to move. But yeah, no trading for me. So right now what we have is this low right here, which is pretty tough to trade between this level, because I know that probably is gonna hold support, and then if we break below it, we still have this low right here of 85 to cover it, and then this high right here as well. You can see that a pattern. What happens is, I think this was news from Monday. Yeah, this was news from Monday. We basically broke above. So when we break above, people want to buy. Once they buy here, because they are buying above this level of resistance, once they buy here, they get taken out by the news or whatever they have, and then boom. And then same thing right here. Probably there's a lot of orders that got taken out right here, but we have enough buying pressure to make price move higher again. Once we move higher, what we need to do next is, since this is previous level of support, create a level of resistance and then push down again, since we made highs over here. So right now, level of support or a demand right here being held. We broke above this level, smaller level of resistance right here, and now just waiting for oil to basically act up and give us any confirmation. So give you guys a smaller time frame analysis, and then this is what I was talking about, right? Let me bring that back, bring this down. So sells is basically supply zone, and engulfing candle right here we have basically a rejection, basically try to break above, and then we have multiple candles right here, boom, trying to push down as well. So once we have enough seller pressure right here, we engulf the previous candle. This is, for me, just the beginning of it. So basically one confirmation is a candle like this on a level of resistance or supply, and then of course next target is right down at the previous level of support. So we held basically right here for 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't count this as 4. Like, count this as just one pattern, one candlestick pattern. So 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row this level. So what I want to see probably next is either we break below, make the retest, and then come down. And then again, where do we come down to? All the way down to 83, because if we look left, we have a level of support right here, or demand marked up. So we know that if we break 88, we'll come down to 83, and right here of course is we moving higher to this level of resistance. Probably you want to see some retracement. If we continue the bullish move, see some retracement and then break higher, and then once we break higher, of course retest and then go higher. But go higher where? Of course it's going to be to the $100 range. All right, so yeah, we need this will help. The engulfing candles will help. So yeah, pretty easy. I feel like I'll probably start trading this in April, but I'll keep this pair on my watch list for the next couple of days.